talking to your toddler? Here's what they're really saying. As a parent, there's nothing quite like the feeling of trying to decipher what your toddler is trying to tell you. You know they're trying to communicate, but sometimes it feels like they're speaking a different language. Understanding toddler language is crucial because it can make all the difference in your relationship with your child. When you get it right, it's like a whole new world opens up. And it's amazing. Trying to figure out what your toddler wants or needs can be super frustrating. I mean, they're pointing and gesturing, making these adorable little sounds, but you're just not getting it. You ask them what's wrong, and all you get is a tantrum in response. It's like they're speaking a code, and you're just not fluent. You start to feel like you're failing as a parent, like you should be able to understand them better. The more you struggle, the more anxious you get, and before you know it, you're both in tears. It's not just the tantrums that are tough, it's the everyday conversations too. You ask your toddler what they want for breakfast, and they say banana. But do they mean they want a banana? Or do they want pancakes with banana slices on top? You start to feel like you're playing a guessing game, and it's exhausting. And then there are the times when they say something that just doesn't make sense. You ask them what they did at daycare, and they tell you about a dinosaur they saw, but you're not sure if they're just making it up or if it's actually something that happened. The thing is, toddlers are still learning to communicate, and they're going to make mistakes. They're going to use made-up words or gesture in ways that don't quite make sense. But that's okay. It's all part of the process. By being patient and understanding, you can help your toddler feel more confident in their ability to communicate, and that can make a huge difference in your relationship. So, how do toddlers communicate exactly? Well, it's not just about the words they say, it's about their body language, tone, and the context in which they're speaking. For example, if your toddler is saying mama in a happy tone, they're probably talking about their mom. But if they're saying it in a scared tone, they might be referring to a stranger. It's all about paying attention to the little cues. Toddlers also use gestures to communicate, like pointing or waving, and sometimes they'll use facial expressions to get their point across. If your toddler looks upset, they're probably feeling a strong emotion, and it's up to you to figure out what that is. By paying attention to these nonverbal cues, you can get a better sense of what your toddler is trying to tell you. The key insight here is that toddlers are often trying to communicate complex emotions and needs through simple words or actions. They might say no when they mean, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Or they might throw a toy when they're feeling frustrated. By actively listening to your toddler and trying to understand what they're getting at, you can help them feel heard and validated. When you take the time to really listen to your toddler, you start to pick up on their patterns and rhythms. You learn to recognize the sound of their voice when they're happy, sad, or frustrated, and you start to understand what they're trying to tell you, even when they're not using complete sentences. In the end, understanding your toddler's language is all about connection. When you take the time to really listen and understand what they're saying, you build a stronger relationship with them. You show them that you care about what they're thinking and feeling, and that you're there to support them. If you've had any experiences with trying to decipher your toddler's language, I'd love to hear about them in the comments.